Perez, commentator, writer, and comedian. Lou, good to see you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for your kind words. You came in, see the old guy in person. How am I holding up? Am I right? I'm just shy of surgery, so I'm trying to hold on.
Oh, what kind of surgery?
Well, no, plastic surgery.
Oh,
I'm saying for my age. I'm just saying, you know, can you say that? You know, I need surgery. I look at it, I go, I'm old. I've been around forever. When did you start in comedy? With Frankie Five Boroughs?
Actually, Frank and I went to NYU together.
Small world.
Small world. Yeah, so I started doing improv and sketch comedy at NYU. With
Frankie says you were spectacular at that, man.
I was the best in the class.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't think anybody else is still doing comedy.
Did you tell me Frankie Five Boroughs took a comedy writing class, you don't?
Yeah, we took a class.
He's going to make me write sketches now. Right?
I don't know if we did, if it was 2 semesters with Barry.
I think so, yes. I think so.
Yeah, with legendary Barry Goldsmith. Great guy, great teacher.
And then he was in a comedy writing. Was that the name of the class? Comedy writing?
I think so. Yeah, comedy writing or
I think worked out well.
Yeah, now they probably changed it to like something a little bit more, grandiose.
They were laughing at my Charter Revision Commission writing. That's where it got me.
Yeah, everybody's been following your career all these years. They're like, where are the jokes? Like, what's going on here? He's going after De Blasio for some reason.
Get his tuition money back.
Yeah.
No, man, that is wild. NYU, and then you went. Did you go see? And now you're a commentator. Tell us about the documentary where we can find you and what you're doing now. And then I want to find out how you got there, man.
Sure. I'm the head writer and executive producer for We the Internet TV.
We the Internet. Okay.
Yeah. So we're a comedy news channel online. So we do satirical comedy, and we also produce these short mini documentaries. And the latest one is entitled 5 Reasons Why We Need Hate Speech. So a very provocative title. When I got started in comedy, I was never like, oh yeah, one day if I keep grinding, if I work on my material, I'll be defending hate speech. Great, that's where everyone wants to be.
Where are we going, man? It's so politically correct. I said before we went on the air, you were kind enough to say, you watch Sidekicks, right? We did Sidekicks. Sure. And when we did the movie with the great Chuck Norris, and you're right in the age range, which we were playing to the kids, for crying out loud. But when Gilbert Gottfried and I went in, and then Richard Pryor would do what he did on stage, and everybody else, it was so politically incorrect. We literally, you know what, Lou, we'd be arrested, I think. That we would just we'd make fun of everybody, every ethnicity, every disability, every color. We didn't care. No one cared. They'd make fun of Italians. It was just, how did we get so sensitive about everything nowadays?
I don't know, but I've actually gone back and rewatched Pryor's stuff, and I thought one of the greatest things about Pryor was the vulnerability there, the introspection, the ability to look at, hey, I am messed up, and I'm ready to tell you all about it, and maybe you can see how you're a little messed up too. And then I think also with relations too, as far as who you can make fun of and who you can't make fun of. In a way, I look at comedy as a great equalizer, where it's like nobody is above getting goofed on. If you have a group of friends and one of them's short, you're going to make fun of them for being short. If one of them's fat, you're going to make fun of them for being fat. If one of them's Puerto Rican, you're going to go after them for that or whatever. So I look at it as like, oh, here's a great way where we can all be equal and kind of dig into one another and enjoy it.
It's so funny because I just had this conversation with my I was driving and I was with my buddy Big Mike driving. We went by the ball field on 10th Avenue where we played the quote unquote the Puerto Rican baseball team. That's what was the name of the team, the Puerto Rican baseball team back in the 70s. Mm-hmm. Of course, I did jokes. Are you Puerto Rican by?
No, my dad's from Argentina, but my family has a butcher shop in Spanish Harlem that we've had for nearly 40 years. So big Puerto Rican community. My sister-in-law is Puerto Rican. I think that's one of the great things about growing up in New York is that I don't have to work for diversity. Like I grew up with it.
Yeah.
I grew up with everybody.
Cool, yeah.
And it's a thing too where I grew up with good people and annoying people of all races and creeds and all that. Everybody has a story about someone who was, oh man, such a beautiful person. And then, oh man, you can't believe who I had to, ride next to on the train.
I know. And I'm thinking of the Puerto Rican jokes that after I did the game, and the Puerto Ricans we were all together at the improvisation. We were in some capacity. And I did the I'm embarrassed. I couldn't tell you the jokes now because I would get complaints on the station. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got to just chill out. And when Eddie and I would go back and forth at each other, Eddie Murphy and I And we did Ebony and Ivory on Saturday Night Live.
That was
You couldn't do it now. You're blind. Oh, you're blind, making fun of blind people. You can't do that. It's like, so, and then when they do go after politics, and then we hear a lot of criticism about Saturday Night Live going after President Trump. And I've been trying to say, and I'm trying to be the mediator here, You know what? When I made fun of Ronald Reagan at the time, and I tell the story over and over again, Ronald Reagan, somehow, he went through Frank Sinatra, whatever they did, they got me to the White House. And it changed me. So you can see, and I would suggest that's what I would love for President Trump, just to shock everybody. And just to go, I'm inviting Alec Baldwin to the White House with the cast of Saturday Night Live. They wouldn't go, but wouldn't that be wild, just to reach out?
And he has a very interesting relationship with SNL because he had been on so many times before.
He was hysterical. The president was great on
and
Saturday
he's very
Night
much
Live.
an icon of New York, and SNL is an iconic staple of New York. Yeah, Trump I think has just changed everything, and I'm very confused about everything happening.
Yeah. Well, you know what, and it's how they're going after him. They could say bad things about, for example, on Twitter too. If you're, I don't know what your political affiliation is, and you know what, it doesn't matter. But if you're conservative, or if you believe in the country and you're a patriot, I always said this too. If you believe in one nation under God, like I always say, man, Jack Dorsey whacks it, shadow bans you, and it doesn't show up on Twitter. That's how serious it's getting now. I mean, how do you put your documentary out and be politically incorrect and are able to get it out there?
Well, I think definitely having a provocative title like 5 Reasons Why We Need Hate Speech is could be a shocker to people.
I love that.
But I think overall, the real goal of the doc is to say, like, look, we disagree on an infinite amount of things, but the one thing that we all can really come together on is this principle of free speech, and especially defending the speech that you hate, for for reasons of self-preservation, because ultimately it will be used against you. So we went out of our way to actually include interviews with people who aren't on the right. So we have Nadine Strossen, who is former president of the ACLU. We have Glenn Greenwald, Jesse Singal, who's a liberal journalist. And it's a way to really show that, hey, this isn't a right issue. This isn't a left issue. Yeah. It's an everybody issue. And we really need to come together on this.
It's funny, but people, it's so funny, to your point, Lou, and we appreciate you taking time with us this morning. First, tell us the website we can go to.
WeTheInternet.tv.
All right, We The Internet TV. We The Internet. What is it? Go ahead. I got it.
We need to get a better name for this show. We The Internet TV. And we're on Facebook, YouTube. Yeah.
We The Internet TV. I love it. You know what, though? It's funny because now, when you do spew something or you do an opinion, it's not funny anymore. They just spew an opinion. It's good to make a joke about it. Like even Bill Maher, my longtime buddy, who is very, very funny, but it's more like a political, they take political shots at everybody. You see more of that coming out now, right?
Well, I think one thing people can sniff out is activism, and I think the great thing about a well-crafted joke is that if it's against your guy or for your guy, if it's well-crafted, you're going to laugh about it. So I think, maybe some people have become a little lazy in their joke writing, and then that's sort of like taking. I think that might be something to do, because, I mean, I think it's great that the president gets knocked, but I want to make sure. What I enjoy is when it's actually really good joke doing it.
Yeah. All right, Lou Perez, thanks. We'll check it out. Lou Perez, we could Google you as well, right?
Yes,
That's
please.
A lot easier. Lou Perez, go to Lou Perez. We'll find out. Thanks, man. And give us the inside light about Frankie Fibros. He was okay?
He was a good guy. He was always wearing a suit.
No, really?
Yeah, you're always well dressed.
Thank you.
That.
Thank you
Look
very
at
much.
that.
See? Yeah,
But we always wondering. I was always wondering if he was going to be like a maitre d' like in a restaurant, or or that guy in the funeral home that like upsells you on everything. So.
I can see either one.
Upsells in a funeral home. They do. You don't want that. You don't want that casket. Oh, I think your wife deserves more than that.
Come on. You want to go metal. How long you married? Come on.
That's great.
Titanium.
Thank you, Lou. Lou Perez right there. Piscopo in the morning, 9:36. Big